All right, thank you. Oh, welcome everyone, and thanks for tuning in to Midwest Motorsports iRacing. It's our 2021 through 2022 Cup Series season. I'm Eleanor Magdolna, your announcer. I'm here in the studio with Josh. This Sunday, March the 27th of 2022, and it's race number 22 of our 24 for our season. And more importantly, it's race number 6 of 8 in the chase, coming to you live from virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway under the lights, the 1.5 mile quad oval down in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. 24 degrees of banking in the turns and 5 on the straights. Jimmy Johnson dominated here in his career at Lowe's Motor Speedway, as it was known then. 8 victories for Johnson and the 48 team. Never again after they changed the name from Lowe's Motor Speedway, though. Makes you wonder. Anyways, the active most winningest drivers here in the Cup Series are Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex Jr. with 3 wins apiece, but they're not here today. We're here with our Midwest Motorsports Cup Series drivers, and here's our stories for our race today. Again, race number 6 of 8 in the chase today. So after today, there will be just 2 races left, 3 to go before we start our race today. Coming into the race, our regular season champion, Matt Dyer, has reclaimed the points lead by just 7 points over James Bowles. But I've just gotten the qualifying results on my screen, and it's Bowles who's able to take the pole for the race. He'll be in the number 85 car, just ahead of Matt Dyer in the 99. So Dyer was fastest in practice, but it's Bowles who puts down, in fact, improved on his practice time in qualifying. So great run from Bowles in qualifying to earn that pole. On row 2, we're going to have Danny D Almeida, not a chaser, new to the league, just a couple weeks here, but ran second in the Xfinity race yesterday and was the only driver on the lead lap besides the winner, Logan Truex. And alongside of him is going to be Eric Thaler in the number 15. Thaler sits 3rd in the points here in the Cup Series. He leads the Xfinity Series points. Thaler won here in Charlotte just a couple of weeks ago, but that was on the Charlotte Roval, the road course. So a very different track for Eric Thaler to try to nab a win here in the chase. And here at Charlotte, last time we were here on the oval was December the 12th of last year. And that was a race won by Matt Dyer. And Dyer with 5 victories on the season, but they all came back in 2021. And he hasn't won again since December the 19th at Martinsville. So Dyer, still the points leader now on the merit of his bonus points that he earned. But he's going to be having to hold off your pole sitter, James Bowles. And Bowles has 1 victory in the season, which came in the final race of the regular season at Talladega. So they are 2 of our drivers to watch today, along with D Almeida. And definitely one to watch will be the 86 car of Ben Litherland. Litherland is coming off of 2 consecutive victories here in the Cup Series. And also he's coming off of 3 of the last 4. So he's won 3 of the 5 chase races so far. However, he was absent for race number 1 of the chase. So he's currently in a 35-point hole, back in 6th spot in the points. So keep an eye on Litherland. He's trying to work his way back up into the points after missing a race. It looks like he's going to start 8th on the grid. So your front row is going to be the 85 of James Bowles. That's the red car, the white racing stripes. He set down a 29.996, the only driver to go sub 30 seconds in qualifying. Alongside of him is going to be Dyer. And then it'll be D Almeida in the 3 and Thaler in the 15. Row 3, we'll have Josh Anderson. He's a chaser. He'll be in car number 18. And Ben Litherland in the 86. As previously mentioned, 2 consecutive wins. Brent Brevax and Brandon Danzano, both chasers. We'll start on row 4. Then Steven Anderson and Les Davidson. All right, that rounds out your top 10 for the starting order. And the lights are out on our Ford Mustang pace car. We're gonna see it peel off here, and we'll start racing. All right, down to the stripe they come. James Bowles and Matt Dyer are gonna see the green flag here in the quad oval at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And it's a pretty good start for Bowles. He's already 3 car lengths ahead of Dyer, who's now got a handful of Danny D Almeida there on the inside in the 3 car. So side by side for second now. It looks like Dyer with a good run off of turn 2 is going to settle into second. Now D Almeida is going to slide into third spot just ahead of that gray car. That's Eric Thaler in the 15. You see Ben Litherland has gotten by Josh Anderson for the 5th spot, so move Anderson back to 6th. James Bowles is going to lead lap 1 from the pole. The 85 car. Wow, there's a nice little pack here battling, and D Almeida is going to look to the outside of Dyer. It's not going to pay off for him, and Eric Thaler is going to come to the inside, and it looks like Thaler is going to be able to move into the 3rd spot down here in 3. Maybe D Almeida, a hard charge on the outside. But this will put our front 3 in the points as our front 3 on the track. And Ben Litherland, the hottest driver in the chase, now challenging D Almeida for the 4th spot. Looking at some new paint schemes for some drivers back here. You see the red Chevrolet sponsored car. That's Brent Brevax in the 31. Right behind him in the black and red number 96 is Brandon Danzano. They're both chasers, but it's really come down to just the front 3 in the chase. Bowles and Dyer, just 7 points apart. Dyer the leader, and then Bowles back 7. Thaler is 17 back from the lead, and now he's under fire from Litherland for the 3rd spot. And then it's a bigger gap back to 4th place in the points, which currently belongs to Jason Huffman in the number 29. Huffman is currently running in the 16th position. 5th place belongs to Anthony Castor. Good to have him here this weekend. He used a provisional at Martinsville last week. And Castor sits in the 5th spot now ahead of Ben Litherland. And Litherland's moved up to 6th in points. Again, with 3 victories this season now, all in the last 4 races. Litherland is the winningest driver in Midwest Motorsports Cup Series history, and now he's gotten by Thaler for 3rd, and he is working on Matt Dyer for 2nd, and it looks like he's going to clear Dyer here off of turn 3, so Ben Litherland charging towards the front in that number 86, the Aaron's Dream Machine. Aaron's Dream Machine, the bright yellow numbers, and he set his sights on the 85, James Bowles. I think I just saw Carl Lindstrom's car. I'm happy to see it. Carl Lindstrom, one of our chasers, and finished 2nd in the final points for the championship, the regular season championship, and he's been having troubles with his internet the last few weeks and had 2 DNFs and then was late and had a DNS, so he's gone right out of the championship. But you can see him back there in the 11th position in that black car with pink and blue trim. Got a bright pink spoiler. It's one of the easiest cars to spot here on the circuit. You see it all the way down the front stretch there. All right, so Ben Litherland has closed right back up to the bumper at James Bowles, and it's 6 cars in our line here at the front of the pack. Then a very slight gap back to Brent Brevax and Brandon Danzano. Here comes Dyer and Thaler battling. Here's Danny D Almeida going to the inside of Eric Thaler, trying to. Loses momentum, and Josh Anderson's going to look to the outside of D Almeida now. And now that's brought Brevax and Danzano right into this battle. So now 8 cars in a pack here at the front. And Litherland has caught the back bumper of Bowles. Bowles, a good run through 1 and 2 there, is going to buy him about 2 car lengths. And here's Matt Dyer with a look to the inside of Litherland for the second spot. Now, Litherland's been running that outside line a lot. Here you see him on the outside in 3 and 4. Dyer there on the inside. And still side by side entering turn 1. Great run so far for Josh Anderson, sitting in the 5th spot. And that's the Waste Management colors. The number 18 car. Anderson, a chaser in the 18. His brother Steven also in the field in the 28 car. And I think James Bowles is loving this sight in his rear view mirror of Dyer and Litherland battling side by side, lap after lap. Finally, Dyer is going to clear Litherland for the second spot. But Bowles now has about 4 car lengths on Dyer. They had been nose to tail when Litherland was running second before Dyer put up that hard battle and has earned the second spot now. There's our eyes on Eric Thaler in the 15. Thaler runs Midwest Motorsports. Thanks for doing this, Eric. Oh, and Eric tags the wall. Thaler's going to tag the wall, and that's going to let Josh Anderson get to the inside of him and take the 4th position. Thaler's still fighting. Anderson with the preferred line. A good run off of turn 4 for Thaler. He might get back through. It looks like he is going to get back in front of the 18. And wow, Thaler, I think, tagged the wall again there on the entrance to turn 1. That's going to let Anderson get right back to the inside of him. And that's let the front 3 take off. And here goes Matt Dyer with a look to the inside of James Bowles for the lead. He's going to get it done side by side for the lead. Here they are, coming through the quad oval. On the outside is the 85 of James Bowles. On the inside is Matt Dyer in the 99. I think Bowles led that lap. You get a bonus point for leading a lap, and Dyer has yet to lead one. Bowles led the whole way so far from the pole. Another point for the most laps led. So Bowles holds that down right now. And side by side for the lead, down into turn 3. James Bowles fighting very hard. Matt Dyer on the inside, trying to lead a lap here. And it looks like Bowles led that one just by inches. Ooh, and Bowles gonna try to get down in front of Dyer and can't get it done in turn 2. So now Dyer down the back stretch, still on the inside, down into turn 3. Still side by side, and Ben Litherland's watching this, saying, aha, I'm just going to save my tires and see what happens in front of me. And this time by, I think Bowles still leading. And Litherland's going to go to the high side and make it 3 wide for the lead. Can Litherland slide up there? He's not going to be able to get alongside Bowles, but he has gotten alongside the 99. So now move Ben Litherland up into the second spot. And Dyer has to back off. So now Dyer looking back to the inside of Litherland. And side by side, Dyer's going to come across the line second this time. Great racing here early already at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So now Litherland has settled into the second spot. Dyer moves back up behind him. So now it's Bulls, Litherland, Dyer. Still Eric Thaler back there in the fourth spot, but he's got a mirror full of Brent Brevax and Danny D Almeida, who are battling side by side. And Dyer thinking about second spot from Litherland, but can't make a move on the backstretch this time. Here's Brent Brevax looking to the inside of Eric Thaler. These are two chasers side by side. And Thaler needs to make every point he can get if he wants to stay in the championship conversation. Comes in 17 points behind Dyer for the points lead. You see Anderson in the 18. That's the white, yellow, and green car. Then Brandon Danzano in the 96, the black and red machine. And there's Carl Lindstrom. Good to see that black and pink car back on the track. And Lindstrom was a favorite for the championship. Has 4 victories this season, including the first race of the chase at Atlanta by inches over James Bowles. 8 thousandths of a second Lindstrom won that race by. But it turns out he used up all his luck there in the first race of the chase and hasn't had a single bit of luck since then. So he wants to get back up here and remind everyone that he's here. Brenton Henderson in the 52 rounds out the top 10 as we ride along with Matt Dyer in the third spot. See Bowles go to the inside and block that lane. Looks like Ben Litherland's going to try to get up alongside of him. So fighting for the lead. James Bowles and Ben Litherland are side by side, and you're watching as Matt Dyer is going to push Ben Litherland to the lead. So Litherland leads that lap. That'll earn him a bonus point. That'll help him get back into the championship conversation if he can lead a lap every race. And he's been the best driver on the circuit for the last couple of weeks. A winner at Phoenix, and then a winner at Watkins Glen, and a winner last weekend at Martinsville. Litherland and Dyer have gotten by James Bowles for the lead now. And in fact, it's Dyer now in the 99 leading the way. So we've worked 24 of our 120 laps now. So we're 20% of the way through the race. So Dyer, Litherland, and Bowles. Brevax moved up into the fourth spot ahead of Thaler now. Lindstrom's just gone by D Almeida for the sixth spot. Here we see Thaler fighting with Brevax again. And that's Lindstrom and D Almeida in tow there, right in their draft. Ooh, thinking about 3 wide behind them for a moment. Here comes Lindstrom to the inside of Thaler. This will be for the 5th position. Riding along with Danny D Almeida, new here in the league. Just a couple of weeks racing with us now. It's been a pleasure to have here. And again, D Almeida was the only car on the lead lap in the Xfinity Series race for Midwest Motorsports yesterday, besides the winner, Logan Truitt. Truitt sits second in the points in the Xfinity Series behind Eric Thaler. And Lindstrom's going to clear Thaler for the 5th spot, so move Carl Lindstrom up into the 5th spot, and I don't think Lindstrom turned a qualifying lap. So he came from the back of the pack to get up here into the top 5 now. Still Dyer, Litherland, and Bowles in the front. Then Brevax and now Lindstrom ahead of Thaler. Here we see Brent and Henderson in the 52 from Victoria, Australia, fighting with Brandon Danzano in the 96. They're fighting for the 9th spot. So 10th is Henderson. 11th is Eric Thornton in the 1. 12th is Kevin Mayer in the 77 car. Then it's Steven Anderson in the 28. And Anthony Castor in the 88. Anthony sits 5th in the points. He's been the highest ranked non-Class A licensed driver in our field for most of the season. Still working on his A license. He's got the B license right now. There you see Dyer has opened up a gap back to Leatherlands. Now a second between the front two. And it looks like James Bowles is going to peel off and come to pit road under green. Comes Brandon Danzano with him. Danzano coming in fast. So green flag pit stops have started here at Charlotte, which is a far cry from what we saw last weekend at Martinsville with caution after caution. And here comes Eric Thaler into the pits. Woo, a big slide from Thaler as he's coming in. Hope he got it low down enough. Still Matt Dyer in the lead. Now D Almeida into second as pit stops are happening. Here we see Chris Thaler in the number 7. That's Eric Thaler's father. Here's the 27 of John Bates. Bates, a chaser. Here's Brevax, Thaler, and Lindstrom exiting the pits. And here comes Bowles, back by them both, by all 3 of them. Now Bowles still behind Litherland and Dyer. So almost all cycled through for green flag pit stops. And I think now we are cycled through. And Litherland and Dyer are battling. And it looks like Litherland is going to take the lead from Matt Dyer on the sequence. And Bowles in 3rd. And Brevax, Thaler, Lindstrom, D Almeida, and Anderson. So most of our front pack has stayed right up here in the front through the cycle of green flag pit stops. Litherland now with 2.5 seconds over Dyer. So Ben Litherland looking to make this his 3rd victory in a row. If you watch, there's Kevin Mayer in the blue and yellow number 77. Just ahead of Brandon Danzano and Josh Anderson, who are side by side. Maybe there was a little contact between them. But if there was, I think they're both going to be able to keep it rolling. Here we see Brevax. He's in the 4th spot. Thaler in the 15 there is 5th. Under fire again from Carl Lindstrom in the 83. Ooh, deep dive from Josh Anderson as he's challenging Kevin Mayer. This is for the 9th spot on the track. It looks like Danzano has gone laps down. So looking back through the field, looking for some of our chasers outside the top 10. Castor in the 88 is 11th. Jason Huffman in the 29 sits 12th. John Bates is the first car 1 lap down in the 27. That's in 14th spots. Still Litherland in the front, but Dyer's closed it down to below 2 seconds now. Here's the gap between the leaders. Litherland, Dyer, and Bowles in the picture there. Ben Litherland, the all-time winningest Midwest Motorsports driver in the Cup Series and Xfinity Series. He was our champion last season, our first inaugural season for Midwest Motorsports. We ran the Legacy trucks, and he won 7 races en route to his championship. He went the whole regular season without winning a race and just made the playoffs. And then, as I mentioned, missed the first race of the playoffs. And in the last 4 races since then, he's won 3 of them. Here's Eric Thaler and Les Davidson. There's a new paint scheme for Davidson. That should be easy to spot from now on in the 38 car. Davidson is down a lap. In fact, he's now the first car on the lead lap, or off the lead lap in the 14th spot. The last car on the lead lap is Christopher Gindy in the 26. Oh, as we see Kevin Mayer in 77, he's going to get into the wall. Rough for Mayer. See, all these cars going by him are for position. That hurts. That's 3 spots on the track right there. So Mayer was running up in the 9th spot. Excuse me, he had climbed up to the 7th spot. And now he drops back to 11th, outside the top 10. Matt Dyer is charging back towards Ben Litherland. It was 2.5 seconds back to second. Now it's 1.3 seconds. And here it is again. Here's the gap. These are your first and second place cars. James Bowles has gone out of the picture. He's now 2.5 seconds behind Litherland. So Bowles is closing on Litherland as well, but not as fast as Dyer. Matt Dyer with his 5 victories on the season leads all drivers. Here we see Carl Lindstrom, his 4 victories, is the second most. And now Litherland with 3. Eric Thaler, twice a winner this season at the Charlotte Roval. And then here in the Chase, he is the one to break up Ben Litherland's winning streak. He won at Daytona. And now Dyer is right on the bumper of Litherland. And I think Dyer's gotten the move done. Move Matt Dyer to the lead in the 99 car. So now it's Dyer in the 99 from Litherland in the 86. And here you see it. Dyer has moved into the lead, closed the 2.5 second gap to the leader. And now he's gone by and he's opening up a new lead. So now it's Dyer and Litherland, first and second. Still James Bowles, your pole sitter, in third. We're just past 1/3 of the way here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. You're watching Midwest Motorsports Cup Series racing. Thanks for tuning in. We're here every Sunday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. That's 4 o'clock Pacific, which is where I am currently up in central Arizona. Here we see Brenton Henderson in the 52. He's a couple time zones away in Australia. The two blue and yellow cars here. The 77 belongs to Kevin Mayer. He's got some damage on that car, but he's slowly climbing back after that contact with the wall earlier. Wonder what happened that caused that incident. Carl Lindstrom in the 83 has moved up to the 4th spot now, ahead of Brent Brevax. And this is the battle for 6th. Thaler versus D Almeida. Anthony Caster's climbed up to the 9th spot. So keep an eye on the 88. He's running a new paint scheme this weekend. There he is. And the Gray Ghost. Awesome paint scheme. And Caster, yet to score a victory here in the Cup Series. But he did earn his first Midwest Motorsports win in the Xfinity Series at Atlanta a couple of weeks back. Here's Mayer, Henderson, and Anderson. Steven Anderson running together. Eric Thornton in the 1 behind them. Thornton is 1 lap down in the 16th position. Steven Anderson looking outside of Henderson, the 52. Cars now on the lead lap. The last one still being Christopher Gindy in the 26. And Matt Dyer has opened up 1.5 seconds of gap on Ben Litherland. And James Bowles has fallen far back behind both of them. Now 5 seconds back from the leader. And he's got about 3 seconds of gap back to Carl Lindstrom. Lindstrom fighting with Brent Brevax for the 4th spot. And last weekend we were at Martinsville Speedway, and it was a caution fest. I lost count of how many cautions we had. So it's pretty refreshing. It's been 51 green flag laps here at Charlotte. And Matt Dyer is looking to finally go back to victory lane. He won. I've mentioned he has 5 victories on the season. Well, they came in the span of 6 events. So Dyer was super hot in the late part of last calendar year, but has been winless ever since, though he still leads the championship points. So Dyer hoping to make it his 6th win of the season. The Midwest Motorsports Cup Series races just about every Sunday night. And we're going to be racing again 1 week from today on April the 3rd. It'll be our semifinal race. And it'll be at Darlington. Oh, what a great racetrack. So 1 week from today, we'll be at Darlington on April the 3rd, and then 1 week after that will be our finale championship race at Bristol on April the 10th. If you want to learn more about us, visit our website, midwest-motorsports.com. A lot of new content on the website this week, including our Season 3 schedules for the Xfinity and Cup Series. Some new tracks going to show up. We're going to go to Iowa. We're going to have the Clash at the Coliseum, which is going to be a special race for our Season 2 winners and pole sitters. Should be fun. Put them all in a bull ring. And it'll be a shorter season next year and a shorter chase, just a 5-race chase with a super speedway, Bristol and Iowa in there, Road America, and have our championship battle at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And hopefully that'll produce as good of a finish as we had here at Atlanta just a few weeks ago to open our chase when James Bowles was just narrowly defeated by Carl Lindstrom. Now on the track, Bowles is under fire for the 3rd spot, and Brent Brevax is side-by-side with him. Lindstrom right in tow. So that's Brevax in the 31 on the inside. Watching from Lindstrom's view as they are door-to-door here in Turn 2. Ooh, close quarters racing for some chasers here. And Brevax, a one-time winner this season, got his victory at Atlanta pretty early in the season. Qualified for the chase, but he has not been a championship competitor. So good to see him up here running in the top 5. It's a good, strong run for Brevax, and it looks like this type of track is a good, strong spot for Brevax. And now Carl Lindstrom's going to give him a draft down the backstretch, and Brevax is going to move into the 3rd spot. And Lindstrom's going to follow him through to earn 4th spot as Bowles is peeling off to come back to the pits. So just past halfway for the Midwest Motorsports Cup Series race at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and we're going into our 2nd round of green flag pit stops now. So James Bowles is the first of the leaders to peel off, as he was on the previous run. See Lindstrom up 11 positions. Anthony Castor also up 11 positions. I think Castor might deserve that A license. So green flag pit stops are going on. You see Ben Litherland coming out back onto the circuit. Still Dyer and Lindstrom up at the front. You can see Litherland. He goes by Bob Baker in the 00. He's right on the tail now of Danny D Almeida, and you'll be able to see the speed differential here. There's D Almeida. He's 2nd on the track, but has yet to pit. And And Litherland with the fresh tires is going to race right past him. And here's Matt Dyer. He's still out on the track without pitting. Built up a huge lead. So now Litherland is the first car off the lead lap. And here comes your leader, Dyer. He's into the pits. So Matt Dyer, your championship points leader, is in. Here's Josh Anderson. He's in and having a strong run here today. Here we see Lindstrom and Bowles battling. And it looks like Bowles on the sequence is going to get back by Lindstrom. Whoa, it's trouble right in front of Anthony Castor. Wow. I think that was Steven Anderson in the 28. And Castor had to make a big evasive move to avoid getting caught up in it. And yeah, here's Anderson now into the pits. So here's Ben Litherland up to the third spot as we're finishing out this round of green flag pit stops just past halfway. So now Bowles and Lindstrom here battling for position again. Matt Dyer has come back out onto the circuit, and it looks like Ben Litherland is going to move into the lead on the sequence. So here's Litherland, and there's Dyer, who came out just behind him. So Dyer had a couple seconds of lead before the round of pit stops, and now it's Litherland who's going to get back into the front. We see Brenton Henderson. He goes a lap down. That puts just 10 cars now on the lead lap. Again, only 2 cars finished on the lead lap in the Xfinity race yesterday. Just Logan Truitt and Danny D Almeida. Brent Brevax moved up into the third spot in the number 31. So a super drive for Brent Brevax here. And eyes are on Castor back in the 9th spot, as he's been able to make some passes today. Here's Lindstrom and Bowles battling again. So this is for the 4th position now. Seems like they've been side by side for the 4th position 3 or 4 times now in this race. And it's Lindstrom's had to pass Bowles for that position every single one of those times, I think. And wow, they're in close quarters here in turns 1 and 2. And turn 2, really. Oh, no, and they're collected together. Lindstrom is going to go around, and Bowles is able to drive on. And, the caution's finally out here on lap number 69 of 120. And it's the battle for 4th goes haywire as Carl Lindstrom and James Bowles get together. And something's happened to Matt Dyer as well. But let's take a look at this incident here. It looks like the 83 washes up into the 85 coming off the exit of turn 2. And hard contact into the outside wall for Lindstrom. Hard luck for Lindstrom, who had to come from the back after not qualifying. So we're under caution for the first time as we work lap 70 for our Midwest Motorsports Cup Series. Check out our website, midwest-motorsports.com. You can see it here on the screen. And we race every Sunday for the Cup Series, every Saturday for the Xfinity Series. We also have a touring car series that runs during the week now. And again, we've got our new next season schedules up, but you don't have to wait until next season to join us. If you want to race with us, come join our Discord and chat with us. It's a pretty active Discord. A lot of us are gossiping throughout the week. You can also see a lot of our rules, our stats, our list of our driver roster, You can buy merch on our website. And you can always find us streaming here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Rivenvale. Thanks Josh Watt, who runs the stream for us. He's here in the studio with me. So under caution here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, Ben Litherland leads the way in the 86 car. I'm trying to figure out where Matt Dyer is, and it looks like he's fallen all the way back to the 11th spot, a lap down. So I'm not sure what happened. Dyer was running in the second spot. Here's Dyer on the screen now. So that is bad luck for Dyer and could be a big problem for him in the championship, as his close competitors, Eric Thaler and James Bowles, are up here in the running order. Now, the question is, does Bowles have damage after the incident with Lindstrom? Here you see James Bowles in the 85. There's the 29 of Jason Huffman, the 26 of Christopher Gindy. So Bowles is in a position to perhaps retake the championship points lead. He came in 7 points back from Dyer. And just about every position on the racetrack is 1 point. Plus, there's some bonus points for winning, leading the most laps, leading a single lap. So if Dyer can't get back onto the lead lap and gain some positions, then this would be a great shot for Bowles to try to take the points lead, or for Eric Thaler, who sits third right now, to capitalize on the bad luck of the two drivers ahead of him. Really, Dyer and Bowles have yet to have a bad race here in the chase. I guess that's true for Eric Thaler as well. That's not entirely true. They all had a rough outing at Martinsville, but then who didn't? Besides Ben Litherland. And then there's Leatherland, who is 6th in the points coming in and 35 points back. He has made up a lot of ground in these past few weeks. So after the chase opener at Atlanta, Litherland was 12th in the points, 57 points back. And now he's going to lead him to the green flag. He's ahead of Brandon Danzano in the 96, who's a lap down. Brent Brevax in the 31. Excuse me, that's Brevax in the 31. Another red and black paint scheme. Right behind them, D Almeida and Eric Thaler battling for position. And James Bowles, wonder if he has any damage on that number 5 car. Kevin Mayer in the 77 up here in the fight. And there's Lindstrom in the 83. So Litherland back to the points in the 86. And Brent Brevax in the 31 up to the 2nd spot. So now Brevax right on the tail of the leader, challenging for the lead. And it looks like no worse for wear is James Bowles, who's climbed up now to the 3rd position. And bad restart for Eric Thaler, as he has dropped from the 3rd position on the start, now all the way back to the 7th spot. So tough luck for Eric. ahead side by side for second. That's Bowles trying to get Brevax. There's the battle for the lead coming into turn 3. Litherland and Brevax side by side. Brent Brevax trying to break up Ben Litherland's party. And he is... I can't tell if he led that lap. Oh, as Brenton Henderson is going to spin out of turn 4 and hit the wall near the entrance to pit lane. And that's going to bring out the caution with Litherland still in the lead. So it'll be Litherland, Brevax, and Bowles. Then D Almeida and Lindstrom. Well, let's see what happened to Brenton Henderson here in the 52. You see Chris Thaler in the 7 right behind him. Is there some contact? John Bates in the 27 just ahead. And yeah, contact from the 7 car. That's going to send Henderson up hard into the outside wall. And then he's going to come down and tag the inside wall as well. So a double impact for the Aussie in the 52, who's been having a strong run. Stayed on the lead lap for most of the day so far. But now... it'll be 52 laps to go. We'll see, are we going to pit under yellow here? Don't think you can make it from here on fuel. Maybe we'll see some back cars come in. Looking at John Bates in the 27. Whoa, and he's going to go around here as he tries to avoid the 00 of Bob Baker. Decent save from Bates. Gets stopped, no contact. So it looks like everyone stayed out. No pit stops here for the leaders. So it'll be Ben Leatherland and Brent Brevax on your front row. And really an excellent drive from Brent Brevax. In the 31 car, Brevax with the win at Atlanta early in the season, and he's earned 2 poles as well. 4 top 5s and 11 top 10s. It's in 14 starts. That's out of a total of 20 races. So he has not run all of our races. But he's finished in the top 10 in all but 3 of them. So you're watching Midwest Motorsports Cup Series on iRacing. Live from virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. Ben Litherland leads from Brent Brevax on lap 79. And currently working our second caution. Taking a look back, I see that Matt Dyer has moved back up to be the first car 1 lap down. We do have the free pass here in our league. So is Dyer gonna get the free pass here? Is that right? Light's still on the pace car. And just 11 cars on the lead lap now. Dyer sits 12th. Ahead of another chaser, Jason Huffman in the 29. Here they come around to take lap 80 of our 120. So that puts us 2/3 of the way through this race. And the lights are out on the Ford Mustang pace car, so should see the pace car pull in next time. There you see Dyer in the 12th spot back here. He is -1 lap. So I think that as they run, James Bowles would be your new points leader in the 85 car. Bowles is going to start on the inside of row 2. Your front row is going to Litherland and Brevax, the 86 and the 31. And then row 2 is Bowles and D Almeida in the 3. Then Carl Lindstrom in the 83 and Kevin Mayer in the 77 on row 3. Then Eric Thaler is on the inside of row 4, alongside Josh Anderson in the 18. And then Anthony Castor in the 88 and Brenton Henderson in the 52, still on the lead lap despite his spin bringing out the caution here. All right, and the pace car is pulling in. And Ben Litherland and Brent Brevax are going to lead him through the quad oval and to the stripe for the green flag. And the outside lane did not get going very well. And James Bowles is able to jump up ahead of Brent Brevax early. See Lindstrom challenging D Almeida already. Down the backstretch. Bowles looking to the inside of Litherland for the lead. James Bowles in the 85 won the pole. And now he's gotten a great restart and gotten to the lead again ahead of Ben Litherland. Litherland still up there on the outside, trying to defend his position. Brent Brevax down there on the inside, pushing Bowles. And Bowles is going to clear Litherland. But now here comes Brevax. He's down to the inside of Litherland. Brevax in the 31 alongside of Danny D Almeida in the 3. Great racing here. Side by side. From 3rd place on back. Kevin Mayer in the 77 putting on a great show here today. And now Litherland's gotten back to the outside of Bowles. Bowles is going to shut the door on the exit of turn 2. And I think Danny D Almeida just moved up into the 3rd spot in the 3 car. Indeed he has, ahead of Brevax in the 31. Lindstrom in the 83 in the 5th spot now, with a mirror full of Kevin Mayer. See Mayer looking for a way around Lindstrom now. And Litherland's going to go to the inside and challenge Bowles for the lead. Bowles has got D Almeida on his bumper. Now Litherland the only one on the inside. And they're going to power past him. Bowles is going to get back to the point. And D Almeida on the outside, trying to back up his strong 2nd place run yesterday. He's up to 2nd now. Never a winner in the Midwest Motorsports in any division is D Almeida. Now Litherland's dropped back to the 4th spot as Brent Brevax going to get by on the outside. Looks like the outside lane is the place to be right now. And Litherland is dropping after starting on the pole. Now Carl Lindstrom's gotten by and Josh Anderson is trying to challenge him. Eric Thaler's right there behind him too. So here's James Bowles, your leader. And Danny D Almeida in the 3. 2 of the drivers I told you to watch for at the beginning of the day. And Brevax is under fire for the 3rd spot as Lindstrom's looking to the inside. And now Josh Anderson on the outside. Ooh, almost went 3 wide there, but D Almeida jumped up to the outside of Brevax to challenge for the 2nd spot. They're side by side now. Still Bowles out front, but 2 abreast behind him. And, ooh, I thought D Almeida was going to jump to the inside of Bowles, but Brent Brevax got to the inside of D Almeida just in time to deny the move, and now Brevax moves into the second spot. So now 3 cars in a row at the front, and then Lindstrom and Anderson side by side for the 4th spot. Excellent racing here from these drivers at the front. Gaggle of cars, but they're keeping it clean. Love watching this Midwest Motorsports Cup Series action. Now, oh, the leaders tangle. Bowles and Brevax tangle, and that's gonna cause 4 wide for the second spot and contact. D Almeida and Josh Anderson are gonna make some contact. Litherland, oh, it's a huge crash. Oh, so many of our leaders, and they kept it clean as long as they could, but Eric Thaler's in it, Carl Lindstrom's in it, Anthony Castor, Les Davidson there. And just about the only car that got through okay was James Bowles in the 85 here leader. So a huge crash here. Let's see what happens here. Just in front, Bowles and Brevax got together, and then checking up, Lindstrom's going to get tagged by Henderson, and that's going to cause the big one here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, going into turn 1. Oh, man. Tough break for Lindstrom, for Thaler. But you know what? Just about every car on the lead lap was involved in the crash. So they should all be able to stay on the lead lap. Oh, and here's Bates with some late contact on Castor. And then Les Davidson piles in. Carl Lindstrom checks up in time to avoid some more damage. So Castor was almost through, and then he got tagged. That's too bad for Castor. I think this will be good news, though, for Matt Dyer. He was the first car 1 lap down. He should get the free pass and get back on the lead lap with about a quarter of the race remaining. All right, so our lead lap cars are coming down into the pits now. They should be able to make it from here. So probably our last pit stops for our leaders. Oh, except for, I think Bowles has stayed out. James Bowles stays on the circuit in the 85. Will that come back to bite him? As his championship competitor, Dyer, is going to get back on the lead lap. Bowles suddenly has a lot more to lose. Thanks again. You're watching Midwest Motorsports Cup Racing every Sunday night for a couple of weeks yet until our championship race is 2 weekends from today. Tune in every Sunday, and I'll be here keeping track of who's running where and who's fighting for the championship and the implications of everything that happens on the circuits. So huge implications from this giant crash in turn 1 that involves most of our leaders. So trying to get this sorted out after the yellow flag. Christopher Gindy here is scored as the leader right now in the 26 car. He's been the last car on the lead lap for a long time. Did a good job to stay on the lead lap, and now he stayed out under the yellow, and James Bowles has decided to come in after all. So now Gindy inherits the lead. And the race off of pit road is won by Brent Brevax in the 31. So you see him lined up right behind the 26. So it'll be Gindi, Brevax, and then you see D Almeida in the number 3 car. Josh Anderson in the 18 sits 4th ahead of Eric Thaler in the 15. So this is suddenly looking like it could be a great points day for Eric Thaler. Despite being involved in the crash, James Bowles' mistake in not coming down into the pits and coming down later is going to send him to be the last car on the lead lap. While Thaler sits up here in the 5th spot. And again, Thaler just 17 points out of the lead coming in. It's really hard to make up points here in this competitive league. All right, so it'll be Christopher Gindi in the 26, who did not pit, alongside Brent Brevax in the 31, leading them down to start the race again. It'll be 93 laps complete of 120 here at Charlotte when they take the green flag. D Almeida and Josh Anderson on row 2. Eric Thaler and Kevin Mayer on row 3. And then Carl Lindstrom and Ben Litherland on row 4. Then Anthony Castor and Brenton Henderson on row 5. All right, pace car is in. And the green flag is in the air for Christopher Gindi, who's going to get a good restart on the inside despite the old tires. So that's going to be good for Danny D Almeida, who's going to get back ahead of Brent Brevax. Oh, and contact already. Kevin Mayer and Anthony Castor tangle, and neither of them is going to be able to save it. They both hit the inside wall. Castor's turned around sideways on the exit of turn 2. Can he get going? The yellow is out again. So cautions are breeding cautions here at Charlotte after we went nearly half the race without a caution. Now it has become a wreck fest. Let's see what happens here. Is Castor on the inside, Mayer on the outside, and it looks like Mayer comes down on the 88. So a tough break for Castor, a chaser. Comes in 5th in the points. Trying to have a strong day after he was just involved in the last caution. He's going to have to repair some damage. So Christopher Gindi is able to hang on to the lead in that very short run. Danny D Almeida moves up into the 2nd spot. But these last few restarts, we have seen the inside line go, inside line struggle. So we'll look for D Almeida to try to get a good run. As there you see, now Matt Dyer finally gotten the free pass and come back to the lead lap. So Dyer, who started on the outside of the front row, as he gets back to the lead lap, now he could gain some positions and earn some points again. So a couple of drivers who've never won here in motorsports action at the front. Gindi and D Almeida. Brevax, 1 win this season. Very strong day today for Josh Anderson in the 18. Then it's Thaler, Lindstrom, and Bowles, who all been near the front all day and caught up in our previous caution. Thanks again for watching Midwest Motorsports Cup Series iRacing. We're here on Twitch every week until the end of the season. I'm Eleanor McDonough, your announcer. Looking out my window and watching this big old crow stare down at me. Ominous. All right, and the lights have turned off on the Ford Mustang pace car. So next time around, Christopher Gindy in the 26 is going to be setting the pace again. On the outside this time, it's going to be Danny D Almeida. He's swapped spots with Brent Brevax in the 31. So Brevax on the inside of row 2 with Josh Anderson on the outside. And the first of your championship competitors is Eric Thaler in the 15. He'll be on the inside of row 3, alongside Carl Lindstrom in the 83, and just ahead of James Bowles, your pole sitter in the 85 car. And outside of Bowles is Litherland in the 86, who's led quite a bit of this race and is coming off of 2 consecutive victories. So the pace car is in now. And Gindy leads him down to the stripe. And it looks like it's a better restart for the outside line this time. And D Almeida has fresher tires than Gindy. Let's see if D Almeida can take the lead away. But Gindy pretty well through turn 1 and 2, and in fact, Brent Brevax now is challenging challenging D Almeida for the second spot. Gindy dives deep into turn 3 and 4, and washes up the circuit. But he'll lead this lap from D Almeida. And wow, look at this pack, like a swarm of bees. Josh Anderson on the outside. Ooh, did he tag the wall a little bit there? It was hard to tell, but he's going to lose his spot. So now he's 3 wide with Carl Lindstrom and Eric Thaler stuck in the middle. Precarious. And Thaler and Anderson make some contact. So Thaler's going to get through. I think Anderson's no worse for wear, but he's going to lose a number of positions. Wow, James Bowles looking pretty decent on this restart. Now he's back up alongside the 15 of Thaler and right on the tail of Carl Lindstrom, who's charging, and Gindy is going to get together with Brevax, and that's going to collect Bowles. 3 cars slam into the inside wall on the backstretch, and that's going to bring out the yellow with 20 laps to go. So Gindy on the old tires pays for it, and he's going to collect. Brent Brevax had gone all race without an incident, and now Brevax is going to get collected late, and James Bowles had a shot to take away the points lead today, but now Matt Dyer, the leader in the points, has finally gotten the free pass, and he works his way up to 6th on that restart. So here we go. This is the battle for the lead. Gindy is fighting with D Almeida. He comes down behind D Almeida, and Brevax is going to get to the outside, and Gindy is going to come up and not leave Brevax any racing room. And James Bowles is just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he goes for a heck of a ride. So we went green for almost half the race, and now we've had a slew of cautions. And gotta feel bad for James Bowles. He's been running up here near the front all day and just gets collected. It was none of his business at all. It was really Chris Gindy on the old tires set up. I told you there was something ominous going on when I saw that crow looking down at me. And it was the old tires proving to be an omen. So now that's going to hand the lead to Danny D Almeida, who was one to watch when we started the day. D Almeida finished 2nd in the Xfinity Series race yesterday. But he's got Carl Lindstrom, who's going to start on the outside of him with 18 laps to go. And Lindstrom started near the back of the pack and had to climb his way forward. So Lindstrom, the hard charger, is going to start on the outside of the front row. Josh Anderson capitalizes on avoiding the incident, and he had a pretty bad restart that sent him back a couple spots, but it turned out that he was able to avoid the incident because of it. Now he's up to 3rd. You just saw a shot of James Bowles sitting down there on pit lane. Here he is, still stuck down here in the first pit stall that he earned with the pole today. And Bowles is going to go a lap down, I think. Here we see also, that's the 26 of Gindy, also involved in the incident. You see Steven Anderson in the 28. He's coming in. There's Kevin Mayer in the 77. So now James Bowles, one of your championship competitors, has gone a lap down. So this looks stellar now for Matt Dyer. He's gotten his lap back. He gained 6 positions on the last restart. And now Dyer in the 99 sits in the 6th position, which should be enough to defend his championship points lead for the day. And now with Bowles dropping off the lead lap, now scored in 14th. That makes Dyer and Thaler our best running championship competitors. And Thaler now up in the 4th position. There you see him in the gray and red, number 15 car. But it's Danny D Almeida here looking to score his first iRacing Midwest Motorsports win. As we're forming up for the restart. So D Almeida in the 3 and Lindstrom in the 83 will be your front row. Here you see Gindy trying to rejoin. Eric Thaler in the 15 will start on the inside of row 2. with Josh Anderson in the 18 on the outside. I think I have those reversed. I think it'll be Anderson on the inside and Thaler on the outside. Yeah, that's correct. And then Ben Litherland in the 86 on the inside of row 3, alongside Dyer in the 99. So great to see Dyer back up in the fight. Just ahead of Brenton Henderson, who stayed on the lead lap despite a few incidents. He's on the inside of row 4, alongside of Anthony Castor, trying to come back from the incidents 2 cautions ago. And Brent Brevax has stayed on the lead lap despite being involved in the last caution. He scored in 9th, ahead of Eric Thornton and Brandon Danzano. All right, so we should see the pace car pull in right here. And Danny D Almeida is going to lead him down to the stripe. And the green flag is in the air. And again, the inside row gets about a car length of a better restart. So that's put Josh Anderson up alongside of Carl Lindstrom, the 18 and the 83 there. Thaler in the 4th spot, eyeing both of them as D Almeida's cleared Lindstrom for the lead. But now here comes Lindstrom. He's looking to the inside. D Almeida's able to fight it off. But now Thaler has gotten by Anderson, and he's up along the outside line and challenging for the 2nd spot from Lindstrom. And whoa, Anderson washes way up the track, and good thing Matt Dyer was paying attention. Now 3 wide here. You see Brevax on the inside, Anderson on the middle. Brevax is going to duck out of it. Litherland was on the outside. Great for D Almeida, who's been able to clear about 2 car lengths ahead of, now it's Eric Thaler into the 2nd spot. And Matt Dyer was off the lead lap until that last restart. Now he's up to the 3rd spot. Incredible drive from Dyer. Even if he doesn't win, he has earned a ton of points back here that he had very little hope of getting earlier. And now we got a battle for the lead. Eric Thaler. Almeida. Is there a little bit of contact there between the 2 of them? As D Almeida is going to get back out in the front. And now Dyer is up alongside of Thaler and takes the 2nd spot away on the outside. Lindstrom's going to follow Dyer through. And so Thaler's... Oh, no contact between Brevax and Litherland. And Brevax up into the wall. And Litherland's up into the wall. And the caution's out again with just 12 laps to go. And Danny D Almeida was probably hoping for it to go green then, as he had earned a couple of car lengths of lead. Oh, we're looking at Anthony Castor in the 88 here. I think he is going to have a near miss here. Yeah, you saw Brevax spinning down to the inside there. Oh, he doesn't miss it. I missed that he got caught up. And wow, look at Litherland catch air in the 86 car. Good thing that's a virtual one. So Castor caught up in it when it's none of his business. Tough break for the driver, 5th in points coming in. And here's a replay of the incident as Brevax and Litherland got together, and then Litherland came up the racetrack and then back down across it again. See John Bates getting real squirrely back here as well. Woo! Just avoids Litherland to the inside. And Litherland and Brevax have both been in a few incidents, but we'll see if they're able to recover from this one with just 10 laps to go. And scoring says Anthony Castor has finally gone a lap down, as you see Brandon Danzano come around to get back on the lead lap. He was just 9 cars on the lead lap now. Looks like Brevax finally gone a lap down, and so is Castor. Here's James Bowles sitting in the pits. Bowles is not coming back out, I think. Here's Brevax sitting in the pits. So tough luck. Brent Brevax has been having an excellent race all day. He's been up fighting in the lead pack, and unfortunately, he has fallen out of it here late. So now Danny D Almeida, pretty new driver here in the series, 3-car. Looking to earn his first victory. But he's going to have to hold off a few of the regulars. Matt Dyer in the 99. Carl Lindstrom in the 83. The two winningest drivers in the field, with 9 wins between them. Eric Thaler right behind them. 2-time winner this season. And Josh Anderson in the 18, still up here in the top 5. Looking like a career day for Josh Anderson. Brenton Henderson in the 52 has stayed up here in the lead pack and now runs 6th. Eric Thornton in the 1 got the free pass on the last caution. And now the 1 car, that's the white machine, 7th in line. Ahead of Litherland in the 86. And Danzano just got the free pass back onto the lead lap in 9th spot. And that's all our lead lap cars now. Jason Huffman in the 29, the first car 1 lap down. He's been stuck in the 1 lap down world ever since that early long green flag run, under which Ben Litherland and Matt Dyer led a lot of laps and put on a clinic, lapped a lot of cars. Oh, such a tough break for Brevax and Castor, for Bowles. And this is maybe the nail in the coffin for Bowles' championship hopes. Unless the other competitors around him have trouble late in the season, Bowles finishing, he's currently scored 19th. That's not going to be good for Bowles. He may not be able to recover from this with it'll be 2 races left in the season after today. And with Dyer now running in the 2nd spot in the 99. And Thaler should be able to pass Bowles for 2nd in points as they run, with Thaler running 4th. All right, so lining up for the restart. D Almeida in the 3 and Dyer on the front row. Then it's Lindstrom and Thaler on row 2. And then Anderson and Henderson, both having great drives today on row 3. Then Thornton in the 1. And Litherland will be scored 8th, but he is behind a few lapped cars, it looks like. It's Jason Huffman in the 29 starting on the outside of row 4. All right, here comes the pace car into the pits. And D Almeida and Dyer coming down to take the green flag. And there it is. 7 laps to go here at Charlotte. D Almeida is going to get to the early lead. Lindstrom inside of Dyer and challenging for the 2nd spot. Thaler in 4th, and Anderson grabs 5th again. Seriously, a stellar drive for Josh Anderson today. So Danny D Almeida back to the point, a car length ahead of Matt Dyer. And we got a spinner here. It's Bob Baker in the 00. It looks like he's going to get going again. And no caution. Saw James Bowles is back on the circuit again. But multiple laps down for Bowles, the championship competitor. There's a close fight between Thaler and Lindstrom for the third spot. And close for the lead right now as well, as Dyer is looking for a way around Danny D Almeida. As he comes down the circuit, he scrubs a little bit of speed, and that's going to get Lindstrom right back to his bumper. But now here comes Dyer looking to the inside. Matt Dyer's looking for the lead as Ben Litherland's going to find the wall. So now side by side for the lead. Dyer is going to take the lead away from Danny D Almeida. 4 laps to go at the line. Who's it going to be here at Charlotte? So it's Dyer, D Almeida, Lindstrom, Thaler, and Anderson, all in their own pack of 5 cars here, fighting for the win. So now Thaler side by side with Lindstrom. We see from D Almeida's view as he looks to hunt back down Matt Dyer in the 99. See the lap car of Bob Baker up ahead. And Baker is going to pull aside and let the leaders go through. Oh no, he's not going to let the leaders go through. He collects Eric Thaler and Josh Anderson, Chris Gindy, and still more cars are piling into this crash. So the lapped car of Bob Baker gets in the way of the lead pack. And Eric Thaler is going to crash into him, and it's going to collect Josh Anderson. Look at the front end ripped off of Anderson's car. No fault of his own. What a sad ending. Here, we're watching it as it happened, and Thaler is going to get collected by the 00. And, such a tough break. Anderson takes a ton of hits in this crash. Another one I'm happy was a virtual crash and not a real one. But Anderson is not going to get the result he deserves after running in the top 5 all day. I've been trying to make sure you guys know how special of a run this has been for Josh Anderson, and unfortunately, he is caught and collected late in this one. So Dyer, D Almeida, and Lindstrom are all going to get through unscathed. This is going to move Eric Thornton up into 4th position in the 1 car. Thornton went a lap down on that early green flag run. And now 2 laps to go. He's going to be on the outside of row 2 for a restart. So green-white checkered for Midwest Motorsports here at Charlotte. Matt Dyer, your championship leader, looking to score his 6th victory of the season and his 1st in the 2022 calendar year. Danny D Almeida, new here in the league, and finished 2nd in the Xfinity race yesterday. Runs 2nd now. Carl Lindstrom has had problems with his internet for a couple of weeks in a row, and it's so nice to finally see the 83 car back on the track after a few weeks of his absence. And Eric Thornton in car number 1 sits 4th. Brenton Henderson in the 52 sits 5th. An up and down day for Brandon Danzano has come back up as he runs 6th now. He'll start on the outside of row 3. Ben Litherland was in the wall during that last green flag run, so the caution's a break for him. He'll start 7th alongside of Eric Thaler in the 15. Thaler, such a tough break to get caught up in the incident with Baker. The pylon says 1 to go, but I think we have a green-white checkered. That is correct. We do have a green-white checkered. So we're going to have a restart. We're going to have 2 laps to go. And Matt Dyer is going to be your leader in the 99. So after the incident, now Josh Anderson has gone a lap down. He's scored in the 13th position now. Oh, such a tough break for him. Brent Brevax had a wonderful race going, fighting in the top 5 all day. He's caught up in a late incident. He scored 18th, multiple laps down now. James Bowles, one of your championship competitors, he got back on the circuit and he's gained 2 positions by doing so. So at least Bowles is going to gain about 2 points there. So what was looking like it might go green all the way has become a race of attrition in the late stages. And now the lights are out on the pace car. So next time around, Dyer in the 99 and D Almeida in the 3 are gonna see the green flag for maybe the final time. Lindstrom and Thornton on row 2. Henderson and Danzano on row 3. Litherland and championship hopeful Eric Thaler on row 4. John Bates in the 27 has gotten back onto the lead lap. He's on the inside of row 5. Les Davidson in the 38 has gotten back. Oh, excuse me. Bates and Davidson are each 1 lap down still. Bates will start on the inside of row 5. All right, so Dyer and D Almeida coming to duke it out for the win. Carl Lindstrom hoping to spoil it and announce his return. D Almeida's hanging way back for the restart. All right, and down into the quad oval. Green flag is in the air, and it did not work out hanging back for D Almeida, as Carl Lindstrom's going to power by him. So down into the first corner, Dyer and Lindstrom nose to tail for the lead. Oh, Dyer much better through turns 1 and 2, and we've got a huge crash. Jason Huffman in the 29 is up into the wall and flipped over. Throttle stuck on the thing, and that is gonna be the end of it as the caution flies. And Matt Dyer in the 99, as the fireworks fly, is finally gonna get back to victory lane. It's his 6th victory of the season, which leads all drivers in the league. He has to beat Carl Lindstrom, the 2nd winningest driver in the league, to do it. So Dyer sweeps the Charlotte races this season in the 99 car. He's going to come around and do some burnouts as the other guys are all crashing coming into the pit lane. So Matt Dyer, your regular season champion, doing donuts at Charlotte for the 2nd time this year. And that's going to keep him in your championship points lead with just 2 races remaining in. So big congratulations to Matt Dyer. Burning it down. Ooh, is he going to hit the wall in the restart zone here? He avoids it. Keep it looking pretty, Matt. The sponsors want it to be clean. So Matt Dyer in the 99 is your winner of the Midwest Motorsports Cup Series chase race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. He has to hold off a hard-charging Carl Lindstrom. And Lindstrom came from far down in the starting order to finish 2nd today. Very strong run from Danny D Almeida in the car. Finished second in the Xfinity race yesterday. Backs it up with a third-place run, and he's got to feel pretty good about losing to Dyer and Lindstrom. Eric Thornton in the car number 1. Great comeback late is going to earn him a 4th-place finish. Great comeback for Brandon Danzano in the 96 as well. He'll be scored 5th. Eric Thaler in the 15 brings it home 6th. Brenton Henderson in the 7. Comes home in the 52, comes home in 7th. Ben Litherland, the Brit, in the 86, finishes 8th after leading a bunch of laps today and being one of the fastest cars on the track. John Bates in the 27, finishes 9th. And Les Davidson in the 38 comes back to finish 10th. Christopher Gindy in the 26, 11th. Jason Huffman, a chaser. The 29 car flipped, and that finished our race, but he'll still be scored 12th. Tough break for Josh Anderson in the 18. Was running up near the front all day and got caught up in a late crash that was none of his doing. So, big shout out to Anderson for the strong run today. Hope he enjoys watching the race back. I got to say his name in a positive way a whole lot of times today. Chris Thaler in the 7 will finish 14th. Bob Baker in the 00 will be 15th. Steven Anderson in the 28 is 16th. Tough break for James Bowles. He finishes 9 laps down in the 85 car in 17th spot, and that might put Bowles out of the championship hunt despite how consistent he's been through the chase. So, tough break for Bowles, and a super tough break for Brent Brevax, who is up here in the top 5 for a lot of the first half of the race, climbed as high as 2nd, and got caught up in a crash that was not his fault, and it ends up putting him last in the running order. So thanks again, Matt Dyer in the 90 is your winner here at Charlotte. We've got 2 races left here for the Midwest Motorsports Cup Series season. We'll be back 1 week from today, April 3rd. That's Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be at Darlington Raceway for our penultimate race on the Cup Series schedule. So I'll see you back here again 1 week from today. And thanks again to everyone who makes this possible. Eric Thaler, who is our league owner. He also builds content and runs recruitment. Ben Litherland runs our points. Anthony Castor does the rules. John Bates does our scheduling. And Josh Watt is up here in the studio with me, running the stream, as well as running race control. And finally, I'm Eleanor Magdolna, doing commentary for you for the Midwest Motorsports Cup Series Chase. I will see you guys 1 week from today at Darlington. Thanks so much for tuning in. I am signing out. Have a great Sunday night. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.